Hello everyone, welcome to the BoldSign API tutorial. In this video, I'll guide you through the process of sending signature requests using the OAuth Client Credentials Flow in Python app. To connect with BoldSign services, you need either an API key or an access token for authentication. In this tutorial, I will show you how to obtain an access token using the Client Credentials Flow without user interaction, so you can effortlessly make BoldSign API calls. BoldSign supports OAuth 2.0 authentication to facilitate secure calls to its API. To obtain an access token, you can use any of its supported workflows, such as authorization code flow, client credentials flow, or implicit flow. I navigate to the developer documentation on OAuth 2.0, where you will find detailed information. Next, I move on to the client credentials flow. Here you'll find a list of request parameters along with their descriptions. The first parameter is the grant type, which should always be set to client_credentials when using this flow. The next parameters are the client ID and client secret, which are generated when you create your OAuth application. Finally, you'll need to specify the scope. The required scope for accessing the BoldSign API is available for review here. Additionally, you'll find code snippets to help you create access tokens in various programming languages. First, let me show you how to create the access token to make the API call. I have created a Python web app and will create a function to handle OAuth authentication. I define a function to request the access token. I copy the Python code snippets for creating the access token and paste them here. The request parameters include the grant type, which is set to client credentials, and the scope, which is set to allow full control over the document resources. Now, I need to set the client ID and client secret key. To create the client credentials, I switch to the BoldSign web app and expand the API section. I select OAuth apps and click Create App, where I first set the application name. Next, I enable client secret validity and set the validity date. You can also choose the billing options and decide whether to charge it to the user account or your own. Finally, I click Save. The complete details that were filled in the dialog are displayed here. The client ID and client secret key are generated. I copy these client credentials and set them to the request parameters. Next, I request the BoldSign token API with these parameters. BoldSign validates the request and returns a response that includes the access token, expiry token type, and scope. I save the access token in a variable and return it for use in other API requests. Next, let me show you how to make signature requests using this access token. I create a send document function. I copy the Python code on sending the document and paste them here. You can install the BoldSign Python SDK package using pip install BoldSign. Since I already have it installed, I confirm by running pip show BoldSign. As you can see, the package is installed and ready to go. In the API client, instead of passing the API key, I need to set the access token. I create a configuration and set the access token. Then I pass it to the API client to connect with BoldSign services. Next, I modify the form fields. I then update the signer details like name and email, then update the file path. Finally, I pass these properties to the Send Document API to send the signature request and return the document ID as a message. To make this interactive, I set up a web server. On the root page, I add a simple HTML form with a Send Document button. When I click this button, it triggers a POST request to the Send Document endpoint, which calls getAccessToken to retrieve the token and then passes it to Send a Document to initiate the signature request. Upon receiving a successful response, the server displays the document ID. If an error occurs, it shows an error message. I run the sample and open the link in the browser and click the Send Document button. An alert message with the document ID confirms that the document has been successfully sent for signing. Similarly, you can make other API calls using the access token. To check the status of the document, log into the BoldSign web app. Navigate to Documents, then click My Documents. Here, you'll find the document you just sent for signature. You can see the document ID, status, and signer details. This flow will be easier in an organization which needs to send out onboarding documents for its employees on hiring. It can also be automated using the HR accounts client credentials. That's it. If you found this video helpful, like and subscribe. Thank you for watching. Stay tuned to our channel for more BoldSign API tutorials. If you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments section.